Okay, this is the second time I'm recording this video, and the first time just did not feel authentic and honest because I wrote a script. Ironically, I don't mind writing and reading scripts for my faceless channels, and I feel like that's because for those channels, I'm playing a character, the narrator and the educator, and for this one, it doesn't feel authentic if I do that. So I don't have time. I'm running out of time. I'm more backed up than a seal trying to go through a storm drain. It's actually not that bad. More of a bear trying to go through a storm drain. But I'm just gonna point, shoot, and post. So there's no editing in this video. So I hope that doesn't bother you too much. So today I feel like I want to talk about the toxic love-hate relationship between ADHD and alcohol. Full disclaimer: I'm not your doctor. I'm not your father. I'm just a dude on the internet experimenting with self and documenting those findings. But I feel like understanding this connection could be a game changer in your life if you have ADHD, or whether or not, maybe even if you don't actually. But before we get into alcohol, let's quickly understand a little bit more about the ADHD functions which work in tandem with alcohol. One, the dopamine. I don't know what's Andrew Huberman for this, but the dopamine receptors and the exchange systems, as I understand it, ADHD produces less dopamine and has less dopamine receptors, so that the intake of dopamine is very rapid, but the production of dopamine is not sufficient for the use case. And two is, okay, fine. Think of the ADHD brain or dopamine as a bucket with holes in the bottom. You can try to fill it, but it's going to drain much faster than you can ever fill it. And two is the prefrontal cortex, which I call your brain CEO or your driver or your basically your executive function. Going back to the leaky bucket analogy, alcohol is a great source of dopamine, actually. It's an amazing source of dopamine. People say that it makes you dumber. Well, I feel like it doesn't make you dumber, it takes the brakes off. If ADHD is a bucket of holes, alcohol is like a fire hose. It makes it feel like you're filling up the bucket faster, but in the end, it just leaves it emptier than it was in the beginning. Alcohol is a depressant. It is an amazing anti-anxiety drug. If you're going back to the CEO analogy, for ADHD, it fires the CEO, and with ADHD, to be honest, your CEO already is working half days, and now alcohol fires the CEO. Now the company is being run by an intern, and there's no secretary and there's no CFO, and you're just running into walls. Impulse control gone, emotional regulation out the window. The one thing I realized after I stopped drinking, I'm currently sober. It doesn't mean I'm going to be sober forever. I'm just currently sober. And the one thing that I've realized in this past few months is I have less regrets. Going out, yes, I wish I could partake and I wish I could have as much fun as the people that I'm around, but I had this thing where like they're having like 100% fun. I'm having maybe 80% fun, but the next day I'm gonna have 100% more productivity and more. It's the credit card effect. Alcohol is dopamine on credit. You're borrowing today. You get rewarded now, but you owe interest in anxiety, depression, and brain fog. And the ADHD brain is already on overdraft, and alcohol just maxes out that card. And if you have ADHD, to be honest, we don't drink, we binge. If I drink today, I'm gonna wanna drink tomorrow. I'm gonna wanna drink the day after day. Even if it's like not getting fucked up drunk, because I realized that I had a problem with alcohol. It's not like an alcoholic problem, because I'm a natural addict. No matter what, I naturally feel shitty. Okay, I don't wanna use that phrase, but if anything makes me feel good, anything makes like I like asking people like why do you drink? Most people would be like, oh, just to relax, to wind down, whatever. I drink to shut the noises up. I drink to calm the not even calm down, just to feel normal. I drink to One analogy I always tell people is that I know alcohol is a poison and something inside of me has to die. I always use the analogy of ADHD attention being either a bright light, like that light you use to see in the complete darkness. We are fully attentive to everything happening around us, or a laser with no off switch, and that is the hyper focus mode. And when we get a feeling or a sense of something that brings us to a status of peace, which is what alcohol gives you, we focus in on that. So when I say like we binge drink, it's we're focusing on that, getting that feeling again, that feeling of alcohol creates like an attention gravity well. One drink is then five more, because if I'm happy now with one, I'm going to be more happy with five. In the end, you already lost the battle because it's not really a choice. It's physics plus neurochemistry. I don't really take any meds for ADHD anymore. I'm very susceptible to stimulants. I'll talk about that in another video. I want to talk about a video on complete sobriety, and that one I'll make better planning later. One thing I realized with being sober or quitting drinking for the time being is that I don't want to say I have better sleep because my sleep is still pretty shit, but I have better mornings. I wake up better, more consistently, and I have much better work ethic. Now on days where on now on the 0 days, days I don't work, it's more like I'm mentally exhausted, or there's some inauthenticity about the work I'm doing there. I want to pivot. It's not because I'm too hungover or I'm too sick or I'm too drained of just fucking life that I can't. It's more like, ah, my mind just doesn't want to do this today, so I'll pivot or do something. I'll either skip for my faceless videos, or I'll do prospecting, or I just won't do consulting work that day, or I'll just be more creative and do something else. I want to go back to the social illusion of alcohol because I said this thing where I have less regrets, especially with going out. I remember on days where I go out and I'm drunk, you feel like you're more charming because the liquid courage, you feel like you're more confident, but you're not confident, you're just glitchy. It's not liquid courage, it's just taking the brakes off. And alcohol lowers social fear, but it also lowers your accuracy. Because I remember the first time I quit drinking for an extended period, I was going out, it was fun, whatever. Then I started drinking again. And then comparing the two nights out, I was like, oh my God, dude, the way you're talking is just sloppy. If you could hear yourself, it's not stupid, it's just pointless. Alcohol is the only drug where if you tell people you're not drinking, they look at you like you're the problem. It's the social glue. The social glue of this world is a lethal toxin, and we need to talk about that. But it does make people go out. It does make people more, and people need to do that in this day and age more than anything else. But if we're honest with ourselves, if alcohol was invented today, it will probably be made illegal. But once again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that if you have ADHD, you need to know that there's a high addiction risk because ADHD hunts dopamine like a truffle pig. We don't just drink, we don't just have one wine glass with dinner. We binge, we spiral. The same brain that can build empires can completely destroy itself if aimed wrong. Wrong target equals addiction, right target equals legacy. Like I said, I'm not anti drinking. I actually love drinking. I'm just pro performance. Other drugs quiet the noise, alcohol just shuts it off completely. Either way, thanks for watching. That's going to be it today. I'm not going to promise shit because I don't promise shit, but I really need to make some sort of format for these videos. My one goal for this is just to post for this channel is just to post at least once every week. Hopefully I'll get more systemized later. I just don't I'm not gonna invest a lot of time into these videos because this is more for me than for anybody else actually. I want to make a sobriety video at my 6 month mark, so that's gonna be in a few weeks where I'm gonna go in depth on my sobriety journey. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, comment down below. Peace.